Hello and welcome to a Smurd P video, and today we are looking at Power Rangers Across the Morphin Grid one-shot. And this has lots of mini stories. That's always a good start when I knock the camera, isn't it? There we go. Hopefully that's a little bit better. And apologies, I have a cold, so hopefully I can get the words out without sounding like I'm all muffed up, etc. So, Billy's Metamorphosis, written by David Yost. I'm not going to say all the artists. There are lots of talented artists on here, but I'm just going to get the writers out there. Tanya's Heavy Metal Rescue, Nakia Burrise and J.D. Sutphin. In the Red, written by Matt Groom and Steve Cardenas. An Apple a Day, written by Walter Jones. And Chloe's Chaos Kitchen, written by Meghan Camarena. Hopefully I've said those names wrong. I hate saying names incorrectly, especially ones that I've watched for most of my life and been a great big fan of. So, Billy and his colleague are on the spacecraft, and they're being attacked, and it ends up crashing. And ultimately, there are eggs on there, that the power eggs that they are trying to get back to the Morphin Masters. So the blast blows up, and Billy is thrown. And by the time their enemies arrive, Billy is elsewhere. It's very nice because we have Billy throughout this story. He refers to certain moments that I vividly remember. So, for example, in Green with Evil, when Jason says, "Isn't the smallest chance of victory enough of a reason for us to keep fighting?" That stands out immediately. The moment I saw that, I was like, "Yep, I know what that is." He is also visited by this creature who talks to him about safeguarding the eggs and how they must flee, and he must follow. Then the next sort of vision is, "Billy, you're too high." Who doesn't remember that from Trini in what was it? High Five? It was like the second episode or something, or the third episode, one or the other. Then the Morphin, whoever this creature is, says about how important the eggs are. They within them contained is the all life for the universe. All life for the universe is contained within them, and without those eggs, the universe is gone. So they are very important. We've never probably, it's been explored a couple of times, but not in just that few sentences. So whoever captures these eggs, these evil villains who we know nothing about, potentially they have they can control the universe, basically, in a nutshell. So then we get Kimberly's voice, "Jump, Billy, jump." And it's, he thinks he's hallucinating, he's got this one chance, etc. On my honor, on my life, at all costs, he jumps. And that was pretty much the same that they were saying at the beginning with his colleague. So he also lost a certain picture. So Billy is commander here, which is great. And Tommy has just got his doctorate, and they're proud of each other, and he gives him back a picture, which means so much of him, because the Rangers are always with him, and from inside him he draws on their characteristics, and to achieve whatever he needs to achieve. Anyway, he's safe. Next up, we have Tanya's Heavy Metal Rescue. So, Adam and Aisha are in trouble, and they have been taken by Lord Gas. Oh, wait a minute, I'm jumping ahead of it. Sorry. So she morphs into action, and her and Alpha go to find out what's happening. Aisha is severely injured. If you remember, Aisha did not become a Zero Ranger. She stopped at being a Mighty Morphin Power Ranger. And she advises Tanya that it is gasket from the Machine Empire. So we never officially see in the Zordon Wave Gasket being destroyed. Not that I can remember. If you remember seeing that, tell me and I'll dig it out. Obviously, Mondo and Machina were wiped out. So, and I guess the question of, this wave and it would have been a real true ending after Power Rangers back, almost 20 odd years ago. That would have been a sort of a proper finish. However, we knew that there are other villains, and there continues to be perhaps other villains in the universe. So Gasket must have been, the wave must have been able to travel a certain amount of time. So Gasket must have been out of that range. That is the only way that I could look at how he has survived this. So he is after the Zeo crystals, so he can be powerful again. And he is torturing Adam. However, Adam is showing all the good moments. So very weirdly in here as well, it shows I'm a frog. I don't know if Johnny has forgotten, but the movie is sort of in another dimension, and the ninja quest is how they get their ninja powers. So, but bear in mind, a lot has happened since then, so it's easy for him to remember that as probably quite a cool moment, because it was a cool moment. I loved that moment. But it wasn't part of this continuum, so very, very small error there. So they put more pressure on him. However, Tanya and Alpha get inside. There are lots of cogs going on, and Tanya uses her brain to take off the gravity. Everybody goes flying up. Adam remains on the ground, I guess, chained. And she comes in flying, wipes the floor out with him. And now, this is probably my best moment of this, is them two finally, in some form, being together and having a good old smooch. Because, let's be honest, we all felt it was leading that way. And obviously, it dropped off in Turbo because they were all leaving. So they stopped the growth, but I always felt like that was the direction it was heading. Best friends, eventually falling in love and becoming more. Next up in the red, so we have the very young Rihanna. I think that's how you pronounce her name. She wants to ask a boy out, however she messed it up, and she's trying to get some confidence. So she goes to her big brother, Rocky, who is the eldest and keeps the family together. As part of a big family, which is probably why, if you think about this logically, it's probably why he so easily was happy when he became the Red Ranger, not to have that active role at the front, because he already had an active role in this family, but he can also be probably quite relaxed in that family because there are so many of them, so many different characters. So him being, just there doing what he needs to help the others and not being at the forefront of everything, it was pretty cool. My favorite sort of Rocky era is Zeo. I felt like they gave the character a little bit more growth than they had done before, with Pachinko machines, etc. So she takes his morpher very foolishly because she thinks that will give her some confidence, and she morphs and was doing some cool pictures. She's about to be invited to a party. She ends up getting into a fight. Now, the problem is, when you get these powers, there's apparently a magical sword that helps transfer them to you so that the morphine connection is there. So he manages to help guide her to demorph. However, he cannot instantly morph straight afterwards. And his coaching thing is, there are lots of things that give you confidence. I can talk you through it, but this isn't being morphed in a ranger isn't one of them. And he says, in fact, me being a ranger, it's not, it actually puts him in situations that make him stress and doubt himself, whereas him on his own is quite a confident character. And he doesn't need to worry because his friends are there. Now the connection comes back and he goes off to help save the day. All right, so Water Story, An Apple a Day, written by Walter Jones. So these two young lads go to attack this young lad. However, there are more of them than expected. And, well, Zack comes in and shows them who's boss. So much to the impressiveness of all these young people. And he talks them through about what are you good at? And then they start talking about their various talents, etc. And I don't know if they're family or not, but this young lad here, maybe I missed that bit. He's a good climber, but he's scared of heights. And this is where Zack says, if you do things enough, you start overcoming those fears, etc. And I've conquered many, like he's sort of his fear of spiders, wasn't it? Back in an island illusion. So there's a bad apple on the scene, and Zack morphs in to join his colleagues, his fellow friends, rangers, whatever you want to call them, and between them they take out the monster. So a nice little action sequence there. So it's not just about the message that Water is trying to share. And then we see the young lad up the tree, gets the balloon, and because he was the best person for that job, even though it was dangerous, he was confident in what he was doing. And then they just give a, what's that, I'm trying to think of what's the hand thing that they do. Anyway, and so that was a nice story, and they're all really enjoyable, nice little stories. And when I hear that actors and actresses are writing their stories, I do think this could go either way. This could be quite good, or this could be disastrous. All these little stories are small, they're sufficient, and they deliver something in them. So our last one, which is probably the one that I probably lost the most interest in, Chloe's Chaos Kitchen, written by Meghan Camarena. And this is Chloe and Vespa from Hyperforce. And they are trying to make Rito, what's it called? Candy Rito. And they're trying to remember where they put the candy. So they go back to taking on pumpkin wrapper, but in this story it's far more glittery than before. Then they went trick-or-treating, and then the pumpkin came back, and they had lots of these sweets, and where they put the sweets? They put them in their suits. So that's where they've been hiding, and apparently this stuff can outlast everything because it's sweets and it's terrible. So they make their candy burrito, and it's burrito time. However, this alpha unit says they should not be eating this at all. It's far too much. They quickly run off. Who dabbed on us? They got their crunch in, and they ended up in a sugar coma. There we go. So, thanks for dining at Chloe's Chaos Kitchen. Remember, chaos keeps cooking. See you later. The end. And that is how it all runs. And you have this nice little page on the back, which is pretty awesome. And yeah, like I said, I really enjoyed this. More than I expected. This one shot, obviously, I mean, I've been saying this for months, a bit of Power Ranger fatigue in terms of when you end the main series. A nice break would have been nice between that and Power Rangers Prime. I would have liked that a little bit better. But hey, it is what it is at the end of the day. What are you to do? It's happened. But yeah, this has probably been the most enjoyable out of the last sort of, especially the last one. I don't know. I just can't get my head around the rabbit one. But hey, that's me. So I hope you like my video. If you do, please do support my channel by subscribing. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Thank you to everybody that's already subscribed already. Please look after yourself. Very important these days. And embrace geekiness. Take care. Goodbye.